News of Spotify's funding of AI weapons companies is making the rounds again. Yeah, that's right, again. Let's take a look at the history of this. I'm not the kind of creator on here to make videos as thorough as I'm going to try and make this one. And usually I imbibe in some kind of way, but I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm not going to be dumb today because I want this to reach as many people as it possibly can. And my videos don't usually do that. I've got something to say about this because this is starting to get insane. As far back as November 2021, there was an article posted, "Music is being used as a weapon." And it highlighted all of this. It showed that Daniel Ek and his investment company, Prima Materia, were investing €100 million into this company called Helsing, an AI defense company. And the whole goal was so that they could take AI and get it to integrate data from infrared and video and sonar and radio frequencies, basically to make their kills a lot more swift and efficient. In this article, we get the beginnings of people saying, hey, we should boycott Spotify, but you know what we see more of? We see labels, managers, distributors. We see them all saying, hey, leaving Spotify, that's career suicide. Which is funny to think that the notion that leaving Spotify is career suicide when technically joining it in the first place was the career suicide. This article was posted 4 months later by In These Times, and this is the one that I saw. How Spotify is quietly supporting the military-industrial complex. This article basically just reiterated that the CEO of Spotify had a goat load of money to just spare to give a weapons company, filled with quotes of dreamers of robots and how they can't wait to see how they do in battle. Oh, they would serve such great purpose in battle. Oh! Dude, even goes as far to say as there's also a degree of intimacy to it, in a sense that you know who your target is very well. You know who this person is. I'm sorry, does that not sound evil? This dude thinks he's being romantic about combat. Look, I'm no stranger to understanding the beauty in combat. Hand-to-hand combat. Human-to-human combat. I understand. If you said some shit, you should get punched in the mouth. I'm fully for if you fuck up, you should get fucked up. But you should understand why, so that you can learn and grow from that. That's what being romantic about combat is. All this talk of AI-driven combat, that's not the same thing. This is menacing. It's bad. It's evil. I thought this article had gained some traction. And I get it. Maybe users didn't see that, and maybe users didn't know. But most artists had to know. I knew. I saw that article, and for all intents and purposes, I know fuck all about anything. I thought that artists were gonna leave this fucking thing in droves. I thought it was totally over for him. But we let this slide for 4 years. Since letting it slide, this dude is almost $700 million invested in this thing. We really, really need to hold together and fucking leave Spotify. Because as it is, this has gone on long enough. The only reason I remember an actual handful of artists leaving Spotify for any fucking reason, it wasn't even because of this. It was because he gave a shitload of money to Joe Rogan for his fucking podcast. Remember when Neil Young made a big stink about removing all of his fucking music from Spotify? And he felt super proud of himself for doing that? Which, I mean, it looked like, hey, he might start a fucking movement here. Because this company has already not fucking paid us properly anyway. But he just turned around and gave it to Jeff Bezos right after. I straight up cackled and then gagged. How did you think that was the move? To go from one evil to another evil? Because you just wanted to get paid. Neil Young didn't start the movement because then you saw that he just wanted to get paid. And what's sadder than that is that Joe Rogan has had more of an effect on artists leaving Spotify than weapons of mass destruction, dog. What's peculiar to me about this whole situation is that Rogan made that deal in 2020. The news of Neil Young wanting to leave Spotify, making a big stink of it, and then going to Amazon, that news starts to come out in January 2022. And the article that we've been talking about before, Music is Being Used as a Weapon, that article came out in November 2021. What does that sound like to you? That sounds like damage control. That sounds like somebody in the background being like, hey, just want to let you know that you should probably let them just focus on these two celebrities fighting it out. This is the bullet dodger. We don't want news of us funding weapons companies to get out there. We don't want that to be widespread. And the any more it spreads, the more artists will leave. Yes, and you're right. The more artists, yes, exactly. The more artists that leave, the weaker our entire fucking empire gets. Yes, you're right. That's because we built everything on their backs and then didn't pay them anything. Yeah, exactly. So let's just let them focus on the celebrities because that'll fade. And then they'll feel like shit for fucking even focusing on that. And we can just move on. They won't even pay attention to the fact that we're continuously giving money into these things. We didn't just do it once. And it worked. It fucking worked. We all get distracted by being pissed at some random fucking bald dude who goes blah, blah, blah on the internet, worrying about our own revenue. focusing on how Spotify could just shell out so much money to one guy, yet not pay us fairly at all ever since we've been on here. For something, like I said, that could stay on fucking YouTube. Seeing this fucking chunk of money go to this guy, you'd be like, oh wow, they actually could pay us. And we deserve more than we're getting. We deserve more than like less than a hay penny for something that we've worked our entire lives for. As musicians and artists, we have a right to scream about what's wrong in this fucking world. And we got blindsided, tearing our main focus away from the bigger picture. We focused on this one fucking bald guy going blah, 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 that we completely lost focus of this bald fuck over here, who's been pretty blatant about how much he doesn't give a shit about us, that we've missed that this guy has super villain energy somehow. This guy? You mean this fucking guy? Who looks like every fucking tech billionaire ever created for any comic book you've ever read? You mean this guy's evil? This guy? Where in every article about him they use the same fucking picture where he looks like he's summoning something? That guy's evil? This guy? You're kidding. It's not like I can see the evil blatantly in his fucking eyes right here. How do you miss that? Look at this fucking guy. What is this, too? What are you summoning? What kind of spells are you trying to conjure? This is fucking nuts. He looks like a villain. I gotta edit some fucking balls into his hands. Imagine the look. Because that's the only fucking fun I can have here. I'm glad that the news is making the rounds again. But in the 4 years since that first article came out, the funding for AI weapons has grown exponentially. And that's our fucking money. This dude said to Financial Times, I'm doubling down. I'm doubling down. With whose money? With our fucking money. And he also says it's basically just to boost production. What are you boosting production for? Probably to make money off of this world war that seems to be starting right now. This is the same guy who said the cost of creating is close to zero. Bro, it has almost cost me my life to be able to create what I've created. And now you've sold us out too many times. We can't survive like this. And we shouldn't have been trying to survive like it in the first place. But you know what? They told us to be career suicide and we fucking believed them. Do you want to see how hard of an impact that made on us? Do you want to see how hard of an impact we made back on them? Let's take a look. 2022, Spotify said that they had about 8 to 9 million users. And that's right at the time that these fucking articles start to come out, right at the top of 2022. So that's where we're going to start from, okay? You would expect that maybe some kind of ding was made, something like that. But woo dog it, no it wasn't. In fact, more artists showed up. More artists showed up to the fucking party. And if we jump forward to last year, nearly 12 million artists. Not a single fucking dent was made. The number of bands isn't insane to fathom. Everybody has 5 bands and so does their cousin. But zero impact made? Zero impact. In fact, the opposite was made. The opposite was made. We did just make this guy more money. This dude got richer. And now he's more than $600 million invested in this company. And for all intents and purposes, that's our money, my dudes. I removed my music from Spotify a while ago. But I'll be the first to admit, I didn't remove it when I first heard about them funding AI weapons. Because I also was afraid that I was committing career suicide. Now none of my music is on any streaming services except for Bandcamp. That's stuff that I can control solely. It's my stuff. Because I already disagree with the streaming platform in general. I think it's gluttonous. As it is, I have to talk to my other bands about removing our stuff from Spotify. But no longer is this a conversation about the ethics of the streaming services and whether I like them or not. It's about whether we want to put our music into a place that funds weapons. I can't purify the feeling of releasing any song through means of a piece of this industry that kind of ruined it for the ones of us who were just trying to fucking work in it. Those of us just trying to make a living while making art. But now with Spotify, I'm in a position of having to worry about if this protest song I wrote means dick all because I placed it somewhere that helped with funding exactly what I was fucking rallying against. Taking responsibility for my naivety and for having my head buried in the fucking sand for so long is how I've tried to live the last 5 years of my life since I decided I wanted to try and keep living it. But the whole live fast, crash young mentality, I'm trying to undo that. And this is just another part of that process. This is just another stop on my journey. Far be it for me to shame anybody for using streaming services, okay? I understand that they've done a lot of good for people. Now Spotify has gone too far. Now the message is spreading. And we as artists, we're the ones who hold all the power. The listener won't leave until we do. We've already seen that. Imagine if the actual artist left and all that was left was the AI artist that they used to replace paying us and Joe Rogan. The Joe Rogan catastrophe. Welcome to Spotify. How delicious would that be? That's us going to Daniel Ek and saying, oh, Sorry, you wanted to invest in weapons? Well, how about you taste my weapon? Which is the ability for me to take my fucking art and walk away. Which is me holding all of the power to destroy the foundations you've created this card castle on that you think so hard is a mountain with your face carved in the side. I really hope this does something this time and that the artists do leave in droves, because this has gone too far. If nothing else probably wasn't enough, this needs to be enough, okay?